Well, all right. And we're live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond Babbitt. This is your host, Brian Anthony, reporting for duty. Well, guys, been doing some thinking. That's always dangerous. Been doing some thinking. That's always dangerous, right? But someone had asked me about when did you think it's gonna crash? Think it's gonna crash, and what do you think is gonna happen? And this weekend is a good time for that, and I'll tell you why. Sunday is 11/11/2018. We all know what that date means, right? Monday, mostly all day, mostly all government agencies or businesses, post office included, will be closed. Maybe the banks will be closed as well. Yeah, stocks were flat. And I forgot to mention yesterday that the stocks did really well. But today it's actually in the red. It's not that much, but it's down slightly, really flat. But Monday is Veterans Day, November the 12th. So we have 11/11/11, which is 33 Sunday. Monday, I don't know if banks will be closed or what, but federal government agencies like the post office and things like that. I believe schools are going to be out in celebration of Veterans Day, November the 12th. So this will be a good time. We'll see how stocks do tomorrow. This is usually when they have that holiday celebration time. Come on, like a bank holiday. So, not saying that it's going to happen, but this is an ideal time when all of our attention is diverted. The midterms are over, and if the stocks go down tomorrow, or if they even go up, people celebrate. Their mind is going to be on the weekend, an extra day off for a lot of people, and it crashes. And then on Monday, when you try to go to work or. All right, sorry guys, I got a call in there. Interrupting my live. I thought they was trying to freeze my screen again. Like, man, I must have said something that they didn't like again. Anyway, so I was thinking about that, right? This would be a perfect time for that. So make sure that, we have to be on guard. Agenda 21 is still in full effect, right on time. The New World Order still rolling out all the systems, nothing to stop. Right, we're supposed to hear from the Fed, I believe today. We're supposed to hear from the Fed, and they're going to decide if they're going to raise interest rates or not. From what, I didn't post the article, but they were saying in this article that one of my subscribers left for me, it said that if the Democrats lost the midterms on the 6th, that by the 8th, they would start riots and stuff like that. And I got something that, you know what? Speaking of that, I got something on that. And then they say, I believe it was by, I didn't remember the last date. I don't think it was the 11th, but it was sometime in November. They said World War III would be kicked off. So this is an ideal time for the crash. And since we're talking about that, because Veterans Day is Monday. Oh, okay, they don't know what to do. Okay. Well, thanks for the update, Devil Dog. Okay, so here's the other thing. Move On. MoveOn.org has already started organizing protests against President Trump. And it's for the purpose, they say they're going to keep the witch hunt going, the investigation, the Russia. So they claim that they're going to do, they have protests set up. They have protests set up all around the country, and they say they have 400,000 people willing to do these protests. And this is MoveOn.org. Two things we know about them is that they're leftist, Democrat basically, and the second thing is they're funded by George Soros. That shouldn't surprise you. And so they're already organizing. They have a map of all the places that they're going to do protests. And they say they're going to keep it going. It's going to be continuous. They say they want to impeach Trump. They want to impeach Pence. You know, basically, this is the Civil War. This is the Civil War. So, and they claim they have close to 500,000 people ready to do it already. 400,000. Now, that's awfully quick. I mean, you know, who organized this? Like, if you must have knew you were going to lose the elections, the midterms, or did it matter? Were you going to do this regardless? See? So the Democrats, the demon rats, or whatever you want to call them, they're and George Soros, they're MoveOn.org. They're starting to do protests. They already have the maps rolled out. They say they have 400,000 people ready to do it all over the country, and it's going to be continuous. I didn't speak on the shooting yet. Man, I don't know if you guys remember the Mayak report that came out in 2008, where they said the new enemy of America would be gun owners, Christians, veterans, don't tread on me, patriots. You know, the list went on, and it was a big stink about it. The Mayak report, MIAC, and I believe it came out of Missouri. But I think Alex Jones made it public, they shut it down. It went quiet. Okay, so let's talk about the shooting that happened. It was this morning. My time, it was around 4 a.m. Actually, I was up. But in California, where it happened, it was around 2 a.m. So they were still clubbing. And then now they're saying that, at first they were saying 11 people shot, 11 people dead. There was an off-duty cop shot and killed. The gunman is dead. Now I think it's up to 13 dead. And now they have some information about the shooter. He's supposed to be a former Marine. Of course, they're saying he's a white guy. Think about the Mayak report. He's supposed to be a patriot, like I said, a Marine, a gun owner. Next, they'll probably be saying he's a Trump supporter. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on. So, the New World Order, man. This is the push. It happened in California. You know, their gun laws are already strict. But the last time it happened in Florida, PTSD. Yeah, possible. But if this is a false flag, I can't say that word. I'm going to say FF because I know if I say it again, they might take me down. But anyway, if this is a FF, they're going to use this to demonize people. They're going to, anybody who fits that description. You know, also the Mayak report, was it about, said something about the lone gunmen, you know, stuff like that. People who operate by themselves. Oh, yeah. People who believe in Bible prophecy. Yeah, all of this was on there. They were saying you or we were the new enemy. So, this could be that. This could be that. So this could be the beginning of the Civil War. Another thing that I thought of, man, I noticed that the caravan of immigrants, they took a break. Now, I noticed all the media outlets were covering them. You know, they kept lying about the numbers, the location, where they were, who all was in it. All of that stuff was false. But every single news media outlet did report that there was an actual caravan coming, that they were close. They were gotten to somewhere like Mexico City, and they said, oh, we're going to take a nap. They decided to take a nap. This was over the weekend. And they never woke back up or something. So we got through the midterm elections, no talk, no media coverage of the caravan at all, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. So I was thinking, I wonder if the Democrats had funded and sent the caravan. And then when I found out or remembered that Pence had been down there this summer, spring and summer, And all those same countries, he could have green-lighted it. So I was like, maybe Trump is running a game on us to scare the people, to get us, to vote the way we want to vote. Or maybe they're in on it together, right? Because the only media outlet that kind of shows favoritism or treats President Trump favorably is Fox. But Fox wasn't the only media outlet covering the caravan. It was all of them. It was all of them. And they all just stopped all at once. What happened to the caravan? Yeah. Yeah, old Mueller. I don't know about Mueller. I watched Trump. I had been hearing a lot. At first I didn't get a chance to see it. I had been hearing a lot about the press conference he did. They said, oh, he was rude. He was mean to the media and everything. So I was like, really? They said, yeah, he was trying to take the mic from people. I was like, really? So I said, let me watch it. I watched it. It's a hour and 30-minute clip on YouTube. I watched it. Man, I'm like, wait a minute. Trump wasn't rude. I mean, they were rude to him. They wouldn't shut up. Like if somebody asks you a question, as the person starts to respond, they'll cut him off again. And when he tried to choose somebody else, the one guy, I forgot his name, the CNN guy. Oh man, if I was Trump, I probably would have hit him in the face, hit him right in the nose. That guy would not sit down. He would not shut up. The lady who was passing the mic around, she tried to grab the mic. He just was jaking on it. He wouldn't give it up. He wasn't going to give up that. Yeah, Jim Acosta. Appreciate it, Devil Dog. Yeah, he got banned. He can't come back to the White House for a press meeting. And I'm like, man, this guy's guy's crazy. He karate chopped it. Man, I was like, this guy's crazy. And then the only reason that guy sat down and shut up is because President Trump acted like he was going to walk off stage, act like he was going to leave. And then all of a sudden he sat down and passed the mic. But he started up again later. I mean, it's like they all were just, I'm like, man, Trump was trying to keep his composure, trying to be calm and cool. That would have frustrated me. I probably would have went off. I would have gave him an earful. Like, man. But it was, of course you had people trying to, it was very few people that asked legitimate questions. They were all trying to, how they say, leading the witness. The questions was based like that, trying to make them, based on fake premises. How can you answer a question like that? It's not even right. So, yeah, exactly. Crying about censorship, and they're the ones. But yeah, man, that thing had. I was clapping when Trump was telling them off. He told the guy, "You're fake, and you're fake news. You shouldn't be working for CNN." He told him you were bad, and I felt ashamed of April, the black reporter. When Trump was first elected, I think he really liked her. She was one of his favorites to call on. Matter of fact, he had called on her to set up a meeting between the Black Caucus and Trump. He wanted to talk to him. And first she was no. And he kept pressing. And she said, okay, I'll do it. I think she did it because she said she knew some of them. But then she come back this time talking about, I know she's a Democrat. And she come back talking about nationalists. But she wasn't talking about nationalists, like nationalists versus globalists. She was talking about white nationalists, like the KKK and stuff like that. She was trying to insinuate that, Trump had something to do with these people. And I was like, man, come on, man. When this dude, yeah, he was really offended. I could tell, I could tell. I mean, we all have our differences in beliefs and opinions. We're all raised in different neighborhoods and things like that. But, I'm just waiting for everybody who's saying, oh, Trump's a racist. I'm just waiting to see it. I'm just waiting to hear it. I listen to a lot of different people on a lot of different platforms, TV, radio. I've heard so-called preachers, white preachers, that are a lot more racist than Trump. And I'm like, wow, seeing this stuff come out, and I'm like, now that's racist. But I'm just listening to Trump. I'm just waiting to hear it. I'm just waiting to hear it, And like he said, they accused him yesterday of some tapes might come out where he was, he's supposed to have called somebody a racial slur, and it's supposed to be recorded. And I've been hearing that same rumor for at least 2 years. I'm waiting to hear the tape. Play it. If it's there. Anyway, man, I think something big is going to happen. I just haven't been able to put my finger on it. But I haven't been able to rest easy. So Sessions stepped aside. Oh, the MoveOn.org protest is also, they want the new attorney general, the interim, because he's going to have to be approved through the House and the Senate. They want the guy to recuse himself. You can't make him recuse himself. Sessions recused himself because he claimed there was a conflict of interest. Well, you better do it or you're going to get in some legal trouble later. Well, this new guy, if he doesn't think it's a conflict of interest, you can't make him recuse himself. You see? But then the other problem I have is Q. I mean, Q messed this one up, man. I don't know about Q. That's why I stopped talking about Q a long time ago. Because I remember when Alex Jones was having Zach on. Q went at Alex Jones, tried to call him, say he was a spy for Israel and the Mossad and MI6 and 5 and all this stuff, and was talking about Zach and all the information Zach was bringing up. And Zach showed his face. So you knew who he was. But all the information Zach was bringing up, most of it came true. You know what I'm saying? So why would Q attack him? And Q was saying, nobody who's in intelligence Q is going to be, I'm like, it was something that Q was trying to distance himself from Zach, telling he couldn't have no intelligence. But the stuff he was saying, no matter how far-fetched it was coming true. So, I don't know, man. The midterm elections was just a bump in the road. The caravan is suing. How do they get this money? Where do they get this money from? Right? They're suing to get in to the U.S. I thought they were running because they didn't have jobs. Now, you know how much a corporate lawyer costs to sue, like a president, to sue a government? This is nothing where you be like, oh, let me give you $1,000 down and pay you, $100 an hour, $300 an hour. No, this ain't that. This is definitely not that. Them type of lawyers, you're going to need $25,000 down or more. Down. And then so much an hour. So where are these people, if they're all broke, if they running from poverty and, and can't get no job, that's a lot of money for somebody who destitute, don't you think? Some stuff is not adding up, man. So right now, there's not been much coverage on the migrants since the weekend. It's like they just disappeared. Now, I heard like 200 or something got caught trying to get in, trying to jump the fence or something today. So I don't know if this is part of the caravan. I know they said some of the caravan had split up so that, make it easier to get in. But, I mean, we have people getting in every day anyway, every day of the year, period. So these 200, I mean, we get over 1,000, I believe, just in the state of Texas a day. So I don't know if this was part of them or not, but we haven't seen any coverage of the caravan. And so we don't know if Trump played us, if the Republicans played us, if Trump and Pence and the Republicans played us. We don't know if the Democrats played us, or if we don't know if the New World Order, if they were all in on it together. Well, thank you, Tammy Joe. So, I mean, this is a lot of stuff that we have to look at right now. This is a lot of stuff we have to look at. And another thing I looked at, man, it's a lot of people going through it right now. Let me just make this, known. Because, there was a guy I was listening to. I think one of the videos I talked about his dream. He was talking about who the Antichrist was. Mark Lang. Yeah. So he continuously, every now and then, when he has something on his heart and his spirit, I believe he's a man of God because he knows the scripture. I can feel his spirit. But he keeps referencing a pre-tribulation rapture. If you don't know how I feel about that, let me tell you. I've read the entire Bible from cover to cover more than one time. There is no pre-tribulation rapture in there. First of all, the word rapture is not in the Bible. They say, oh, well, rapture comes from the Greek. No, it doesn't. The word that they say is rapture is caught up. Okay? In Thessalonians, we have more indictments. Okay, we're going to get into that. I gotta talk about those indictments. Thank you, Tammy Joe. Indictments. Okay. So the word rapture, the word caught up in 2 Thessalonians 4:13 through 17, where it's talking about we're going to meet him in the sky caught up. It comes from the Greek word harpazo. Harpazo. It's where we get our English word harpoon. It's like you shoot something, bring it to you, catch up, snatch away. Okay, so why they say it come from Latin? Where rapture don't sound like harpazo to me. Rapture actually comes from the Latin. I mean, it doesn't come from the Greek, right? The Bible wasn't originally written in Latin. That came later. The original language was Hebrew and Aramaic, then translated to Greek, and then a bunch of other languages, including Latin. So why would you go to Latin to get a doctrine, to apply to something that it's too much work. It's too much work. I know about John Nelson Darby. That's who came up with the rapture doctrine in the 1800s. He was born in the 1800s. And Cyrus Scofield made it popular when he put it in the Scofield Study Bible. It's in the footnotes. It's the only place you find the word rapture. It's not in the Bible. And the whole event, the rapture, they're taken now in the Bible from Old Testament to the New Testament. It speaks about the resurrection of the dead, right? And that's what they get the rapture stuff from, where it says, the dead in Christ shall rise first. And then we, which were alive, will be caught up. So the part they leave out that they don't really focus on, they don't want you to pay attention to, is where it says, the dead in Christ shall rise first. That means that people are coming out the graveyards. See, when in that rapture story, the Left Behind story, they're not mentioning that. They saying, oh yeah, it's gonna be somebody gonna be driving down the street and the husband gonna disappear and the kids gonna be, the pilot gonna disappear out the plane and everybody, oh, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No, man. You're gonna see the graveyards open up first. The dead rise first, and then we which are alive. So that, so there goes the pre-tribulation stuff. And so Mr. Lang did a video where he was quoting scripture. He said he was talking about in the comments how people were grieving, how they were already going through problems and a lot of stress and so on and so forth. He was trying to encourage them to fight. Jesus is coming, the Lord is coming soon. And he said something about the pre-tribulation rapture. I was like, man, see, that's the doctrine. That's another doctrine. The Bible tells you don't add nothing, don't take away. And he did it unknowingly. We all were, well, a lot of us, I was taught this way. I was taught that same stuff. But in reading and studying, you got to study to show yourself approved. I realized that's false. Thank you. So Maggie May 59, thank you so much. All right, so now the guy was so, it's like his heart was pouring out for these people. So I left a comment. I was like, I mean, you said yourself, I used the word great tribulation. I said, you said yourself that, in the comments that everybody's leaving on your videos and they're contacting you, emailing you, everybody's going through great tribulations. I put an S on it. And I say, but you still believe in a pre-tribulation rapture. And I asked him, I was like, I put a question mark and I say, please explain, what is that? 2 Peter 3 and 4 and 1 John 17:15. 2 Peter 3 and 4 talks about how in the last days, in these days, where people are going to be, stop believing. There's a lot of them going to be scoffers, and they're going to be like, where's the promise of his coming? Since the fathers passed away, all things continue on as they were. So if there had been a rapture, they wouldn't be saying where's the promise is coming. Because you see, all these millions of people would have just evaporated out of the cars, out of the planes, and then they'd be like, oh, I got left behind. But see, in Peter, that's not the scenario. The scenario is it's going to get so hard and so bad that everybody's going to be like, man, I thought Jesus was coming to get us out of here. You see what I'm saying? And then the other one, 1 John 17:15, it's Jesus in his own words. Is it 1 John 17:15? Yeah, but he said, he was talking about how he go to the Father. And he told the Lord, he said, I pray not that you take them out of the earth, but I pray that you keep them from the evil. So if it wasn't Jesus's will, or the Messiah, or Yahshua, to take us off the earth, to catch us up, to hide us from this stuff, he said, keep us from the evil on the earth while we still here. So that's why it says, he who endureth to the end shall be saved. So I just had to speak on that, man, because I keep hearing all this rapture stuff, and then they put the great tribulation. I had some people get mad at me. I had talked to some people from Ukraine, and they said, "Why do you say the Ukraine? It's just Ukraine." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. It's just a habit. Everybody who mentions Ukraine says the Ukraine. Why not just Ukraine?" Okay, so it's the same with the great tribulation. You don't find that the great tribulation, and it's definitely not capitalized. It's lowercase. See, we're looking at it like a noun, which tribulation. I looked it up. They say it's a noun, but great tribulation is more like a verb or adverb. It's describing something. It's describing how great the tribulation is going to be. It's not the great tribulation like they say, oh, the great tribulation is going to be 3 years, or the great tribulation is going to be 7 years. No. Tribulation, the Bible says, through much tribulation is how we enter into the kingdom, how we enter into heaven. It's just going to get greater and greater, and that's what we're entering into now. A buddy of mine, Cecil, he had a friend that he went to school with, was doing well financially and everything, committed suicide recently. You see? A lot of people are going through stuff, man. A lot of people are going through stuff. We have to endure. He who endureth to the end shall be saved. Now let's get back to the indictments, man, because I was thinking that the troops on the border, how many troops? They're saying that it's up to 17,000 now. First they were saying 15,000. According to the press conference yesterday, it says up to 17,000 troops on the border. And I was thinking, man, either these troops, because they got tanks and stuff down there. So I'm like, either these troops are to keep us in or to keep them out. Martial law. Thank you. So I was thinking martial law. And then it just so happened, it's like John X. Armour was reading my playbook. He talked about some topics I talked about, including the indictments. And he said, him and somebody he was just kicking the idea around with, he said that it's not 50,000, or now they're saying it's closer to 61,000 indictments. And I did watch a Hagman and Hagman with Joe Hagman. He had the expert on there who explained that. But let's get back to John X. Army. He's saying that it's 20,000 indictments. He showed the map of where the indictments are, and he said the indictments might not be for the bad guys. It might not be for who we think it's for. He said it may be for the patriots. He showed the map of where the most gun owners were, and the quote-unquote patriots and militias and stuff. It's the same place where all these indictments are showing up. So it might be the old hoodwinks. It might be the old I'm coming to get you in the middle of the night type stuff. And who was that? Somebody else reported. I've been hearing reports of the U.S. purchasing guillotines to cut your head off for a number of years, over 10 years. Another report just came out like that we're purchasing 30,000 blades to behead people. So John X. Army might have something there. It could be for the patriots. Man, we don't know, man. They're not going to tell us the truth, man. We just have to help each other. If you see something or know something, we just have to help each other, man, because they're not going to tell us. They're not going to tell us. So we have more indictments. Now, let's talk about the Hagman guy, what he said on the indictments. The expert, I forgot his name, but yeah, yep, that's what happened in the French Revolution. Off with the heads. The rulers, the kings got theirs chopped. But so the expert guy, he said he's worked with the different police agencies and different governmental agencies. and done secret indictments. And he said from one company they were doing it, he said from the time, I don't know if he said the investigation started or whatever, it took 36 months to get the indictments going. Like 36 months. Trump has not been in there no 36 months. How we get 50,000 indictments like that fast? And he was saying he think these indictments have been in the pipeline for a long time, and that they're for other things, maybe drug crimes or something like that. Yeah. So we don't know who these indictments are for. They're secret. And when they're made public, that's when you have a court date. So you have to show up. All right. Honestly, that probably is not a bad idea. Probably is not a bad idea. So let me see what we have here. So another thing is different. Man, they've been seeing orange skies, red skies, purple skies. They've been hearing, everybody been hearing the booms, the sonic booms, and the stuff that sound like trumpets. That's been going on for several years. Now they're seeing these planets, man. I saw a green planet. Somebody had filmed a green planet. I'm like, this is when I was a kid. It used to be a show called The Land of the Lost. And they went to a different part of the earth or something. It's like the earth was in a different solar system. And it was some slee stacks, some lizard people, some reptilians. And they used to have to run from them, all the time to try to get away. I'm thinking, man, is our Earth, did CERN do this? Or did that planet, man, are we going through a different solar system? Because it's different stuff up there now. The sun is not in the same position. If you know where the Big Dipper and Little Dipper are, if you notice that stuff, they're not in the same place they used to be. What's happening? And could this planet have brought another solar system in with our solar system? And man, we might be in the land of the lost. The reptilians might show up. We just don't know, man. We just don't know why the weather is going so crazy. We don't know if it's hot. Oh, now they're trying to, I was reading something today. They're trying to say, oh, China has said they're going to make rainstorms. They can manipulate the weather. I'm like, oh, blame it on China. What government hasn't admitted that in the last 20 years, 30 years? They all can do it now. So we just blaming it all on China. Oh, they're the only ones who are doing it, or who can do it, who have the ability or the capability to do it. But yeah, we're in some strange times, man. And I was thinking, how are we gonna? Because they're shutting down the little guys. What else did I see? I was just, like I said, I searched the news and I did a little praying, a little reading. Oh man, my battery is getting low. Let me see what else I can find right quick. Some of the stuff is going to take a lot more time to go over, and I'll have to do another show. But let me see. Okay, the EU, European Union, is launching new copyright laws. They're going to come out with like a Chinese-style type censorship. They're saying it's going to be illegal for somebody like me, a YouTuber, to upload my own video. It's going to be illegal. It's going to violate the copyright laws. And that's going to destroy the content creators, because there are people with the larger channels, they make money from YouTube. S400s? Whoa, that's a step up. Yeah, they've already said that Israel was saying that the S300 they found a way that it could beat the F-35 could beat the S-300. And so now Russians rolled out the S-400 and said F-35 is doomed. You can't beat those. You can't beat the S-400 with the F-35. And Russia, they've recently said they got a 500, a 600, and a 700. So I guess they may sell the 400 since they, have stuff that's way more advanced. Yeah. So back to what the EU is doing. They're trying to pass. This is just the new world order, man. Censorship, and that's why I think they're going to put China at the head, and we're going to see if Xi Jinping is going to stay there. I know who's going to be there. I don't think it's going to be that guy. I think somebody else is coming back. And we're going to leave it at that. So they're trying to destroy free speech. They say, this is what they said. They said they have a system to where anything uploaded, they first have to listen and look at the entire thing to make sure there's no copyrighted information on it. What? Y'all have algorithms. If I upload a song right now to this channel, and it's within seconds, the computer let them know, no, this song is copyrighted. They're gonna take the audio away from the video. You know, they have that technology now. So really, what they're doing is that they weeding through it, they listening to it, be like, we don't want the people to know this. Take that out of here. Cut that off. Take this off. We ain't gonna let them say this. We ain't gonna let them say that. So it's coming, man. It's coming. So they're gonna destroy the flow of information, destroy free speech, which is the EU is not the US. I mean, we have it here, but you see how they censoring us here? All the Fortune 500 companies, all the social medias and radio and TV, man, they censoring the heck out of us, man. And it's worse in the EU. They're gonna get like China. So really? An EU army. Wow. I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one. I have to look that up. Whoa. Man. Yeah, it's going, man. I mean, we just have to endure. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop by the election box. They put the puppets up. We're voting who they want anyway. Those people are bought and paid for. And I was thinking about, how do we stop it? How do we get out of the system? It's going to be hard because they're shutting down all the small guys, all the competition. Only thing that's going to be left is the big Fortune 500s. If you want a job, you're going to have to work for one of the big Fortune 500s. Okay? If you want to shop, you want to buy something, you're going to have to go to shop at one of the big Fortune 500s. You see? They're forcing you to be in the banks because you have to get direct deposit. You can't just be like, no, I'm not going to use this anymore. I'm getting out of the credit system. I'm getting out of cash. I'm going to cryptocurrency or gold and silver. They're going to make that difficult for you. Yeah, you have to have direct deposit. Most of the bills and everything else, any deal that they have, any special, you get a cheaper price if you have auto draft, auto debit, or they just take it out your account. You have to have insurance. They're forcing it. Yeah, it's like you have to have auto insurance. That's a law in Texas. Renter's insurance, whether you're renting an apartment or renting a house, you have to have renter's insurance. That's a law. Thank God Trump did away with the health insurance, the mandate that you had to have that, whether you use it or not. You had to, And then life insurance is optional, but you're going to have that too. So, I mean, we're forced to play the globalist game. How do we get out of that? How do we get out of that? And then, like I said, they're shutting down the competition. I mean, it's just something we have to endure. Prayer. I mean, that's it. That's it. We need to build our own communities where we do business with each other, trade with each other, because the people that's getting all the money, that has all the money, them the ones who are saying, well, we don't need people anymore. Let's cut the population down. They cut it down to we only need 20% of these people that's alive now. Let's get rid of them. Then what was it? Kissinger. What do you call it? Cannon fodder. The useless feeders. That's what he called us. Anyway, guys. Yes, prayers. I mean, that's all I have right now that I can. Otherwise, if I go into this other stuff, it's going to take a few more hours. But I will be getting more information, looking into a lot more things, and we'll continue this conversation. But thank y'all for joining in. I mean, but what do y'all think about this stuff? What do y'all think is going on? Do you think this weekend is the big one? Resource sustainability, right. Yeah, that's what it's about. Resources. Well, anyway, guys, Let me go ahead and I'm going to do some more research. But thank y'all for watching. See you later. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate talking to y'all, man. Let me know if you hear anything. I'll keep y'all updated. And we have to figure it out because they're not going to tell us. They're not going to tell us what's really happening, you know. And we can't trust the mainstream media either. So, anyway, Brian Anthony, Beyond Babbage, over and out.